You are now live. Here we go. And the camera is right here. It's or no, it's right here. Sorry.
Okay.
So we're just gonna wait a moment for some people to jump on.
All right.
All right. Okay. Hang on, we're telling more followers to join your video. This is gonna be fun. And it's gonna be a fun one. I have to come all the way over here to read people's comments.
That's the way it goes, man.
Hey, we gotta start somewhere. Someone came in. Hello, Patricia. We're gonna wait for others, so feel free to wait with us. She said, "Hey guys." Sorry, it's our first time, so I haven't quite learned this yet. So I'm gonna be coming up here to check comments every now and then. I'm gonna do my best. She beat everybody to the punch.
Patricia, respect. She's well on it.
Yep. Can you hear us? Make sure audio is good. Oh, she even did a little wave signal.
So in topics, like before I came over, I was watching some ancient aliens, some of the old ones. Had your boy David Wilcock on there.
Yeah.
He was talking about.
Hello, Spirit Owls.
We were talking about deadly cults. The one about deadly cults, about the Thuggee cult in India, and the Great Kali. How Great Kali could be misinterpreted as an extraterrestrial being, but they thought it was a god. So what we were talking about the other day
exactly
hits right on.
I know exactly, and what I like about David Wilcock is his books. Back then, they're matching everything that's going on right now. Spirit Owl said, "What's up, y'all? What's up?" We're just waiting for some more people to join in before we kind of kickstart this.
So yeah, everything you was touching on, they were talking about deadly cults. What's his name? Applewhite. Remember that guy who says he was him and his lady was disembodied aliens and wanted people to kill himself.
Oh.
Yeah, but you can tell he was just out of his mind.
Yeah.
That's that part. Because if you look in his face, you can tell
Yeah, you
somebody
can tell.
who ain't took their meds in a while, so he just went off the deep end.
That's sad. It's sad. Well, it looks like, let's see, what time is it? We got 3 people. My Money 93, hello. Okay, Patricia, she said she's gonna be right back. We're just waiting just a little longer, waiting for a few more people to get in before we start. It's still pretty early. Sorry if the lighting's a little bad. This is our first live, so things will happen that we don't mean to happen because we're live, and I do have neighbors that are noisy, so I do apologize, but we're going to do the best that we can to make this work out for everyone. We got a lot to go over, and we got some subjects here behind me. As a matter of fact, at some point we're going to get the Ovilus 5 running while we're talking about specific topics. And when we get to that, I'm expected to get some response by this entity behind me. So entity, sorry, because it is more than one entity. So I'm actually stuck in between 2 things. This right here is kind of a work in progress, Giggles. It's what I call it now because the tag that it came with said Giggles.
Mr. Giggles.
Mr. Giggles, that's right. And I've gotten the word Satan in response from this object. So something I need to look into, but right now our focus has been this object right here. So someone else got in. Blonde Babe 72 joined in. Hello. I guess we could just go ahead and start right now. Let's get it started because we got a lot to go over. So, introduce myself. I'm Duran Conrad. I am the host, lead paranormal investigator, researcher, and demonologist. Also studying ufology and the occult. So I also have my colleague over here, Charles Scipio. And would you like to tell him your kind of line of work or what you're trying to do in the field?
Well, what I'm doing in the field, I got brought on by Duran a little while ago. I'm a spiritual channeler, so I get feelings about things, and I just go off that. I'm still starting off myself. This is all new to me, but exciting. And, you know, I do believe in the paranormal. I know there's things going on out there we can't explain. So me and Duran is trying to bring it to you to explain the best we can from our point of view. Yep. So, you know, I'm what they call it, like an apprentice investigator. So I'm following this man's lead because it's still my first rodeo at all of this.
Oh, yeah. And even me myself, I've only been in the field for barely over a year. But I've had paranormal experiences since I was 5 years old. I am now 34, and I have been studying the paranormal, demonology, secret societies, the occult, anything paranormal related since I was 12. So I've been more than prepared to get into the field for a long period of time. I just only recently really got into be able to have the opportunity to build a trustful, good team like my colleague Charles Scipio. And with the team that we have together right now, I have really high hopes that we're going on a very, very phenomenal path with discovering the truth. And just in the previous big investigations that we've done already, and we've only done like 3 or 4 investigations, and the first couple of investigations we've done, the first investigation we actually did was not even an investigation. It became an investigation because I was introducing an object. Yeah.
We were doing experiments, so to say.
Exactly.
On a road out here in Northern California, Sacramento area called Dyer Lane. If you guys are unfamiliar with it, go ahead and Google Dyer Lane, Placer County, and you'll see what we seen when we came up with. So we ended up going to Dyer Lane because our original plan was to go up to Donner, up north here outside of Truckee.
Can I buy the dog?
And we ended up getting, you know, somehow that plan fell through. We couldn't get there. So me and Duran came and went to Dyer Lane with our other investigator, Corithian. He's not here right now. And our camera guy, Brandon. We went out there and we started getting voice captures and everything else. And so we were like, hey, we're on to this now. So we launching a big investigation from Dyer Lane and trying to put together a documentary for you guys to watch to see what we seen out there from our point of view.
Yeah.
Which we're trying to get it together, make it interesting so, you know, people have something to look at.
Right. And I do apologize to everyone that, you know, things have been postponed. The making of the film that we're doing, it's taking a lot of energy and just a big toll on us, especially me because I'm living with one of the objects that are involved with our filmmaking. So, and an object that is actually personally yours has affected you.
Yeah, we've acquisitioned a haunted Corvette. Yeah, of all things.
Yep.
A haunted Corvette, black as night.
Yep.
So eventually we'll launch an investigation into that. But we took the Corvette to Dyer Lane and something attached itself.
Yep.
And so now whatever's there is the car. So we are very careful with that. It's very finicky. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be, we'll see that coming in the future. That'll be interesting, along with Pam the dog.
What is it? Someone just said, "Oh, I'm Sean Berger." By the way, how you doing? I'm Sean Berger. He said, "I want the haunted Corvette."
I don't know. I love my Corvette, man. I don't know. That's my baby.
He loves it, but yeah, we're thinking that someday we do plan on maybe opening up our own kind of museum of stuff that we come by and collected over the years. Not something, I mean, Zach Baggins already has a really nice, hefty museum out there in Las Vegas. But we're planning on doing something ourselves, maybe
some in this area
Yeah,
for all
local.
the entrants in this area.
Yeah, and because, you know, there's a lot out there that, I mean, it's the knowledge and the truth is infinite. There's always something out there, and these objects, some of these are so, what's in them is so powerful that they need their own exhibit, and they deserve to be displayed for people to see, but safely. Now, there's one thing I do want to go over, is my childhood. So my childhood, just read this comment real quick. Oh, hello. How are you? Welcome. So we're just getting into the topic of my childhood, my background, where it really began. And bear with me, I'm going to try to summarize this the best I can because we do have a lot to discuss, and I'm, not trying to make this a 4-hour long live stream. If my phone will even last that long, because there's some entities behind me
that will drain your phone out.
Drain my phone. So hopefully this doesn't cut out. So I'm going to do this at the best of my efforts. This is my first time being live. So as you can see, I'm a little nervous. I keep moving around, but this is all something I get used to. So, my childhood, my very first earliest memory in the paranormal. And by the way, strangely enough, my memory is so long term that I could remember when I was 2 years old, being handed a apple juice bottle to me in a little playpen. And I remember this very vaguely. Have you done investigation of sunken tribe grounds? No, we haven't. We have not. I'm Sean Berger. We're kind of doing things locally right now. Now, what I mean vaguely is that I remember a lot of this being. I remember this vaguely because a lot of the recovered memory of this has been coming from dreams, and a lot of memories have been affecting my dreams. So I've been having, especially lately, I've been having a lot of dreams of my childhood, and anyways, getting back to my very first paranormal experience, I was 5. My parents and my siblings were in the backyard, and I was kind of running around the house doing so I was roaming around in the house, getting into stuff, and I go into my parents' room, and they had this phone, and when I was a kid, there wasn't very many cordless phones unless you had money, like a good, decent amount of money, and the phone we had, it was corded, but it was like see-through, like you could see all the components inside it, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And I was like so fascinated about that, looking at it. And it was only in my parents' room. And I remember picking up this phone and I'm like, doot, 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 like just hitting a bunch of buttons and then going like this and putting my ear to it. And all of a sudden I hear a woman saying hello, but she says it like hello, and then says hello again to me, and then all of a sudden, and I pushed like hell the numbers, and all of a sudden after the second time she said hello, it goes like when the phone cuts, like
when
lost connection.
When it's off the hook too long?
Yeah, when it's off the hook too long, which is weird because someone was talking to me, and it shouldn't be like that if the phone was off the hook for too long, right? So I'm, even at 5 years old, I already had that instinct that this wasn't normal, this wasn't supposed to happen. So ever since that day, I was getting constant, consistent experiences. And I was being drawn to areas that were really dark, with no apparent reason why I was drawn to these areas. And it's no coincidence. It's because something was influencing me to draw me into these darker areas in the house. And the house that I grew up in it was built in the early 60s. I think it was like 1962 or 61. And hello. Hello. So, yeah, it was built in the 60s, and I'll get around to information I got from a medium that told me about this location that I lived at. And as I got older, the experiences got more worse and intense. And what I mean by that is that they were starting to get more dark. They weren't really just showing themselves just to show me. They were showing themselves to inflict fear out of me and also influence me into doing stuff that's going to get me into trouble. Like, climbing a telephone pole in the backyard and getting stuck up there. So, yeah, I ended up climbing. We had this giant bird cage in the backyard that my dad built. It used to be a fun house that he built for us, and then he converted it into this large bird cage, and then it was divided off with the tool shed. And so this is probably the size of my living room, this bird cage. We had everything. We had chickens, doves, ducks in it. We had a bunch of different birds in it, right? So there was an easy access point to climb the back of this. And me, I was a good climber. I could climb trees like really easy. And so when I wasn't being, I would always take advantage. As soon as I was by myself, I was always getting into mischief. Oh yeah, welcome. And I started climbing on top of this bird cage, or what used to be the clubhouse. And yeah, I'm sorry I have to keep walking up to read the comments. I'm so far away. So I get on top of there and I start climbing the telephone pole, and I'm 6 years old at this time, and I'm stuck up there for quite some time. And my parents didn't find out until the neighbors behind us went over to our house and told my parents. I did get in trouble, but it's just things like that that make me wonder, why would I do something like that? I got so high up, like I was basically at the wires of the telephone pole. And then when I was 7, my appendix bursted. I almost died. Basically, the doctors actually told my parents that I wasn't going to make it, and I had gangrene. I couldn't eat anything. I'd throw up everything I would eat, and it's things like this that kind of make me think back. Maybe there was something there that was causing this to happen to me, and
attachment early on.
Exactly. And from what I was told by a renowned medium, Roxy Reynolds, she has told me that the house wasn't really haunted. It was the energy that was basically attracting what was there. And what was causing this is that, yes, there was a little bit of anger in the house. I will admit that. And there was also, we had a lot of parties. And, you know, my parents like to have fun. So, and in the midst of that, sometimes when, you know, people get a little too drunk, they will get a little rowdy. So there was some things that, you know, would trigger that type of activity. And as me being a middle child, and I played alone a lot, and I actually didn't start really talking clearly until I was 5, because I did have a speech impediment when I was younger before that. So I wasn't really, she was explaining to me that she didn't want to use the term weak, but what she was trying to tell me is that I was vulnerable. And why? It's because the position I was in, it was also the reason also why is that I have a particular energy that spirits are attracted to. So I'm still kind of learning about that, and I'm kind of wondering if there's some type of possibility, which I can't confirm this, because I'm not going to say that I have any kind of gift, but as far as I know, I have some type of sensitive energy that I think is tied to that.
Because you done been around it, so it's like you in tune to it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's cut and dry.
Yes, and also that there's possibilities of maybe I might be a starseed, but I can't prove all this yet. This is all stuff that, you know, this is all theory. This is stuff that I'm trying to research on and trying to learn about myself about. Also, when the stuff, basically right after my appendix bursted, and I started recovering from that, things got really dark, and that's when I started seeing black masses in my room. I started getting cold chills without the window being open. I started seeing things crawling on the walls. I started getting sleep paralysis, and so on and so on. And just like you've seen in some of the posts, like seeing something like this as a child, crawling on the walls and the ceiling and staring at you for minutes on out and just looking at you, and you're stuck and you're just having basically a stare down with this thing, and we're looking at each other for long periods of time. And yeah, it's a little disturbing. It's hard to really just explain how terrifying this is, but over the course and period of time of going through these type of situations, it was an experience, and I didn't really handle it too well as a teenager. As I got older, it just basically, it really overcome me, and it took a long time of research and understanding this and trying to overcome of getting into the negative influences. And over time, I did. I quit. I basically subsided myself from any kind of negative activity. I cut off negative people, and basically it's all about just positivity. Always. And yep, and service to others, not service to self. Yep. And that's what it's really all about, to keep these things. They don't like that stuff. So you do that, you keep yourself spiritually protected, you'll be okay. It's really just having control of your own free will. And I don't know if there's anything you want to add on that.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you my experience with the paranormal. Mine's go way back also. Mm-hmm. And I never took it serious because, for one, when you see things happen, your first thought is, I must be tripping. And I can recall, because I'm slightly older than Duran, back in like 1985, I'm in the living room watching TV, and we're watching Delta Force. And I'm staring at this teddy bear on my mom's fireplace mantle next to some wine glasses, because she would collect wine glasses. And I observed the teddy bear, after staring at it, just knocked the wine glass down. So I stood up and I told my mom, my uncles, and the first thing they said, I was lying. So guess what? I got in trouble. And fast forward in life, I've seen other things, like I've heard voices or think I've seen things out the corner of my eye and never paid it any attention. Didn't really care too much because I thought, hey, maybe I just was tripping.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I wasn't. That sometime you could be born with an ability or just an extra sensory to things, different vibrations of things that's going on around you.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to this path here, after going and speaking with a also renowned medium named Sandra Kay out in Loomis. And my story is I've lost a lot of family members. I lost 2 kids, 2 sisters, and I just recently lost my mom. So I went to a medium seeking answers, and here's where it led me. To see if there's something in the afterlife, just to explore, to get our point.
Yeah.
So here we are today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Dead Serious Investigations. We just going over our backgrounds, and Sandra Kay, she seems to be a really good
she's
medium.
the legit thing, and I'm gonna tell you, first going in, I was skeptic about it,
Yeah, of course.
But she has a little animal, a little dog. Animals do not lie. If there's something there, watch the animals.
I know, right?
And I've seen the dog look at the door and stood up, and then I looked at the water bowl, and the water bowl waved. There ain't no earthquake or nothing, it just waved. And here it goes. And, mediums will tell you things that nobody else know, because I didn't tell nothing about myself. I'm not a big Facebook presence or nothing, but she knew all of that, even what my son would call me. So I was like, this is legit. Yeah. And that was the first experience. And then that time when I'm at home and I get up to get something out of the kitchen, I'm walking back and something knocks me out of my body. And I go back in my body, can't feel my legs, can't hear, and my cat's looking at me crazy. So I was like, oh, something to this.
Yep. See,
and there we go.
And there it is. There it is, everybody. Like Charles said, animals are extremely in tune on the other side.
Yeah, and animals do not lie.
Yep,
they go tell you what's going on if you pay attention to them.
They could see other densities, other frequencies, and spectrums of light that our eyes aren't capable of seeing. I have out here right now the Ovilus 5 device. I'm just going to get this running over here because my hands are kind of feeling clammy. It's probably because it's a little humid in here, but also it could be. Yeah. Well, also this thing could feed off that too. So let's just in case, I'm going to let it, if it needs to say something, let's let Pam say something if it needs to. So I'm going to let this run. Okay. So it just said even spread. Okay, well, I can't really put those two together. Even spread. I guess these two objects right here, Giggles and Pam, are evenly spread apart. I have no idea what that means. So maybe we might be able to put that together later. Loves Ovilus 5. Me too. So we're going to let that run while we go over some topics. So now I would like to go over why and how people get attached. Pam's on live. She's about to act up. Yeah, probably. I don't know if she wants to be live, but this is also kind of an experiment too, of putting Pam live. So
why people get attachments.
Yeah, exactly. The reason why this could happen is because, and I have explained this on a video that I've done about emotional energy. Now, so basically, you could get attached by negative forces by involving yourself in negative activities, and that attracts negative spirits or demonic spirits or anything negative out there. And you doing things like this is going to set up a negative vibration that is going to alert these negative forces, and they're going to find you, and they're going to be attracted to you and want to follow you. The more you get into this, the more they're going to stick around, and then that creates the attachment. Also, opening up yourself a little too much to the other side and building up a trust with an entity that is tricking you will feel comfortable being around you.
Or in the guise of, like you said, little kid, an attractive lady voice, a family member, or sometime, like you said before, when people get trapped into attachments when you're depressed, you're feeling bad about yourself, you're feeling alone, and you feel unattached to the positive world around you. All you see is negative.
Exactly. And it's sad that this is a fact, but it is. That they go for children first primarily. Children are a big target, and the reason why is because they have a sense of innocence, or more closer to their higher self than we are. It just said movie team. It's interesting because we're working on a film, and we are a team. Feel numb. Caress. Are you trying to caress me? Betty. Informed. Though. Rebecca. There goes Rebecca. Rebecca is something that we've talked about. It's related to something that we researched recently, and we'll probably go over that on another time. But
about attachments.
Yeah. And so basically, if you open up yourself to these things too much, you could basically, like, calling it out, challenging it, those kind of things could get you attached to these things. And what I was talking about as far as why children are so susceptible is because if they're closer to the higher selves, they have a sense of innocence that adults don't have.
Pure.
Yeah, exactly. They're more pure. They're attracted to that, and because of that, when children are exposed to a high state of trauma, they do release this compound from their adrenal gland called adrenochrome, and demonic forces feed off this. They feed off the fear of children, and this adrenochrome that is released from the adrenal gland is much more potent than ours, so they're much more attracted to this, and that's why demons focus primarily on children. They'll focus on people that give off the most fear, the most negative vibration for these entities, and that's the ones that are most susceptible for attachment.
And also, like, attachments also come in other forms. You can see people within your own age group get attachments due to vices, such as alcoholism, drugs, or any other thing like that that takes you away from yourself that's out of character.
Exactly.
Anytime you numb your senses or subdue your senses, you open yourself up. And hence why they call alcohol spirits. Spirits in a bottle. That goes way back. And then, attachments also like to trick the elderly. Like if you have someone that has dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that, and in nursing homes, you've seen them hallucinate or say this and that, when basically they're telling the truth what they're seeing. Because the mind is weaker when you're in your elderly ages. You start to deteriorate. Yeah. Anytime your defenses is down, you can get an attachment.
Yeah. Very, very true. And take all this in, because these are all real things. And as far as like cases in the paranormal throughout the years in history, there's so many ways people have suffered from attachments. And even as investigators in the paranormal field, porch. That's interesting because the porch is people out there. Frigid, gravity, work. Someone's going to work.
Sounds out on your porch, dog.
That's
okay.
Interesting. So, I get some comments. Truth, all truth, 100%. Oh yeah, 100% true. And also, on another thing I want to talk about is how to avoid, any kind of further damage from these attachments and how to subside it. Hey, Ghost Adventures fandom, how are you? Welcome. Decompose aura. Whoa, really? Decompose aura. Why would you say that?
Or shall decompose.
Yeah, well, I got protection on me. I actually have something. I think it's really just trying to intimidate me because I actually have here with me a blue kyanite. And this actually protects my aura. So I think it's just trying to really intimidate me into removing that, to think that it doesn't work. The Thoughtful Vixen. Hello, how are you?
Thoughtful Vixen, hi.
So, spiritual protection, though, from things that can attach to you. If you already have an attachment, my best advice is to stay away from negative activities, try to stay away from negative people, and try to spread as much kindness and service to others as you can.
Turn that light up.
Exactly.
Turn your light up.
Yeah, exactly. And also, spiritual protection, it's good to, have crystals, things that you have a higher faith with.
Stones.
Exactly. And each crystal and stone, they give off an energy that is actually very effective in different ways, that will actually protect you from psychic attacks, that will disband negative forces, drive them away from you, and to also protect you in your dreams too, because these entities will try to attack you using your dreams. And I've suffered from this many years. Class. Well, that's interesting. It's almost kind of like we're kind of teaching a class almost in a way. Sage, yes, Patricia. White sage is really good. There's also several other types of sage you could use. And clean your home. Spirits love to live in filth and clutter. You are correct. Washing our clothes, floors, etc. What are you saying over here? Position manual. Position manual. Interesting.
Also, let me add something to that. When you get a chance, I don't know where a lot of you people live at and what's the weather like, but when it gets nice out there, go take your shoes off and put your feet in the grass and ground yourself.
Okay, so Spirit Owls just said, I found traditional tats work if religious and belief. I've got 2 for different religions.
Oh, same here.
There we go.
Yep.
This is your guy right here. He's got the tats.
Yeah, I got my man, Mr. Buddha. I got Kuan Yin, and I got a mandala. It's hard to see in this light, and I roll with that every day and try to keep myself positive and grounded.
Yep. And I got brace. Quiet. Who was quiet?
Oh, okay.
Nickel. Okay. Products.
We got our box going off.
Yeah,
here.
it's going off like it just said murder.
Well, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it could maybe someone. Why are you saying murder?
Nickel and products that murder. What?
Yeah, products of murder. Because murder, it could be saying. It could refer murder to different things. It could be like murder of a person or murdering of, destruction of an object or something. So, spirits will say some words and actually be trying to tell us something. So, they're going to try to use these environmental samplings to really try to communicate with us the best they can. Sometimes you just kind of have to put the patterns together, and sometimes it takes a lot of reviewing and kind of going back and adding up those patterns together to get the answers you want. And some of these patterns that I got on this device, I've got answers from mediums too. So back to spiritual protection, crystals, rays of consciousness, kindness to others, spreading as much positivity that you can, and service to others. On another topic, different types of hauntings that I'd like to go over. There's a lot of different types of hauntings, and some people, when you talk about the paranormal, they just think, of haunted, like hauntings and poltergeist and all that type of stuff. So there's a lot more to that.
What I see is in a lot of people would tend to say, whenever you say paranormal, ghosts, or haunting, they relate it to something negative. Not everything is negative. No. Sometimes it could be just a displaced spirit. It could be a good spirit. It could be somebody who don't even know they're dead yet. They're like, whoa, what happened? I'm here now.
Exactly. And it goes through spirits and extraterrestrial life also as well. There's only a small fraction of negative forces out there. We are the dominant side. But the positive force, the angelic forces, are so much more vast than negative forces. So we are on the winning team. It is up to us to take control of our own free will and make the right choices to banish and to push away these negative forces. They cannot take control of your free will if you don't allow them to by making the right choices. And that's where it comes down to, is a choice, what you allow to influence you. So, these negative entities don't like love, peace, and spreading that along others. It just said felt and zinc.
Zinc?
Yeah. That's, that's a compound, so...
Yeah. So maybe it's saying take your multivitamins so you can feel good every day, including zinc. So, because we live in the age of COVID, y'all, so you gotta take your zinc. That's what you're trying to say.
So back on the topic about... sorry, Giggles. I accidentally bumped his table. I don't want to knock him down, upset him. Haunting types. That's a big thing for people to really understand when they're going into the paranormal field. Paranormal types you want to go look for to identify as if it's a residual haunting, a poltergeist, or demonic activity. And there's a lot of other topics on that too. So, and people, when people talk about poltergeists, when you talk about poltergeist, you want to make sure that you have an understanding what a poltergeist is. Poltergeist isn't a demon. A poltergeist isn't a spirit. A poltergeist is caused by people's emotion, especially young teenagers when they're going through a very emotional state. And this energy from the emotional state will cause objects to move based on the fierce and intense energy from these emotions. And spirits could also feed off the stress of people going through these emotional states and just intensify that. And that's why sometimes poltergeist activity can be announced in a area that has other activity going on. Also, there is definitely, over the course of years of my studies and research, grief as well. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Baby Princess 15, welcome. Glad you could join us. Just getting back to what I was going to jump into, there is definitely a strong connection between spirits and ETs. And the reason for this is the multi-dimensional reason. There is transdimensional, multi-dimensional, interdimensional, parallel dimensional.
Basically, the multiverse.
Yes, the multiverse. It's vast and infinite, and there is several different layers of spectrum of light that are so vast that I couldn't even make a number for it, that our eyes aren't picking up. And the reason why our eyes aren't picking this up is because we are really truly connected to our higher selves yet. And when the theory is that when you pass on, you reach your higher self. You only evolve into what we truly are, which is energy. We are energy. We are a spirit in a vessel. Our bodies are our vessel. So we reach our higher selves. We upgrade. We never die. So, hello, Brent. What do you know about Moldavite? Moldavite. Well, I have not really researched what Moldavite. What do you know about Moldavite?
Moldavite.
Or how do you explain Moldavite?
I'm new to Moldavite.
Yeah.
Actually, Patricia told me about Moldavite. She has a ring.
I like learning this stuff.
And from what I know about Moldavite, due to Patricia, is that some people think it's like could curse you, or some people think it's supposed to open up new doors for you.
Okay.
So I think it depends on the person's experience, the Moldavite, but I know it's kind of a rare mineral.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's something we should look to in the future. Moldavite,
Yeah,
explore that more, because it's
yeah.
supposed to be a mystery, because it's a meteor rock, so it's not of this planet. It comes from somewhere else.
Spiritual transformation. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And and a lot of people have definitely misunderstood ETs, because a lot of people just think ETs and they think cool, never heard of that one actually. See? He hasn't heard of that one too, and I bet that was kind of good information for you too as well. So if you can find you some Moldavite out there, go see if you can get you some. Exactly.
Basically, yeah. It's supposed to be spiritual transformation, and you feel like you're at that point in your life, go for it. 15 million years ago, there was a meteor crash in the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic.
Oh.
Czech Republic? Yeah, Czech Republic.
Yeah. So back to what I was talking about, the misunderstood information about ETs, that ETs are only these extraterrestrials that are not human-like looking and stuff. You know, that's part of the case, but that's only a small fraction. There's actually a lot of ETs out there that actually look exactly like us with small differences. And see, small differences that actually make people think that they're being visited by, a human spirit, which could be, in fact, in theory, be a extraterrestrial spirit that just looks very, very human, because they, in fact, are part human, just like us. The glass. And it left behind you. What? What happened? You see something? And if so, hopefully the camera caught it.
Okay.
So basically the fact is that there's non-terrestrials, EVE, and non-terrestrial meaning not from this world. The unknown paranormal, welcome. Trish status 007, welcome.
Okay.
How are you?
Welcome, guys.
And so there's an understanding with ETs and spirits, they're able to traverse through these other realms that we can't. We are a third
frequency.
Yes,
Vibrations.
exactly. We are a third density being, while these entities may be fourth density, fifth or sixth. They have beings that have these type of level of densities have capable abilities that we don't have. So whether if it's technology or through consciousness. So they not necessarily have to be dead in order to travel through these realms. They could just use these realms to cloak themselves so our eyes don't see it. Animals can, though. So it is...
animals see a different spectrum.
Exactly, and that's
like
the reason
cats.
why. And actually, by the way, everybody, is that animals provide great protection for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. And so there's been so much studies over the year with me with this, and it took a lot of understanding to get through to really add the patterns that this is really happening. This exactly explains what's going on with everything that has gone through my past of experiences, because it's all lining up. And this is all stuff that I'm going to go over in the film when I start really showing you the patterns and why they add up. So, and let's talk parallel universe.
Parallel will fall into like your dream states,
Mm-hmm. They could,
out of body experiences, astral plane travel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just now starting to get into that because remember we talked about it. Like when those who go to sleep and you travel outside your body in different dimensions theorize. That's just a theory that, you travel to different dimensions when you sleep.
Hello, Jennifer.
And sometimes, when you're in these dimensions and you come back, you wonder why your body hurts or you're all sweaty because you've been sitting there like basically in a different dimension. Mm-hmm. And like he was saying previously, animals are a great guard and a guide back. That's why I keep cats with me, because cats, when you leave your body, they guard your body.
Yeah.
So nothing negative enters into your body, because when you sleep and you're dreaming La La Land or whatever, you're gone. And that leaves you open to anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to also say that I also believe that that about with parallel dimensions, I think that there could be little slips. Somehow, it's something that I don't understand myself, and I don't think that a lot of people really do understand this, but I think that there's kind of a sense of that this is kind of something that really could be happening, is that we ourselves could mistakenly slip into parallel dimensions by mistake, and I think this happens and it causes a missing time effect, and also possibly a Mandela Effect. A Mandela Effect is basically something that you swore happened, but it didn't really happen.
Nowadays, you're saying it didn't happen. Like, I know a lot of you out there have heard the term Mandela Effect, and the famous one is mirror, mirror on the wall. When they say now, it says magic mirror on the wall. That's still debatable.
Hello, Miss Caneo Mister. How are you? Hi.
So, like I was saying, I know all of you have probably heard of that before. Like the Berenstein Bears versus the Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, that's how I've always... I just felt like moving the device. I just had this drawn thing. It just said, book, great. So I've been reading some great books,
or Mandela Effect.
Giggles is correct about that.
So, back to that. I know a lot of you guys probably experienced that. So if you did, please share with us. We'd like to hear it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Any experiences you have, you want to share with us. We open to hear.
You're definitely going to want to share that with us, because we could kind of look into that and really start researching about that and actually get the answers that you need, and actually start giving us kind of something that maybe we should be looking into that we're not really announcing what we're getting into, and we can work along with that and add that. So You know, we are very authentic with what we do. We don't have anybody telling us or scripting us of what to do. We are basically as authentic as possible.
Patricia's saying bring up Jiffy. Jiffy peanut butter.
Oh, Jiffy, yes.
No,
Jiffy.
it's called Jif now.
Yeah, Jif.
But I don't remember that. I remember Jiffy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a Mandela effect right there. And actually, a lot of people out there.
The interview with a vampire. Now they said it's never that. It was Interview with the Vampire.
Yes.
And I know when the motherfucking movie came out, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It was Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, and also J.C. Penney's, and it's actually J.C. Penney.
Yeah, things like that.
So there's those things, and here's another theory. This is a theory, and this comes from whistleblowers. So what I've heard on some things I've watched and read about. Just read this real quick. Hold on. I've been experiencing it a lot more lately, actually. I believe you, because a lot of people are kind of experiencing this too, and a vast amount of Mandela. Yeah, and I think about what I was talking about with these whistleblowers and insiders and information I've read, and it's coming from multiple people too. They also talk about that these really highly negative forces have been trying to manipulate other realities, to try to alter our reality by manipulating time. Now, it's really difficult to kind of get into that subject, so that's something that we'll have to talk about further out, because that's a long information.
There's so many theories and
and
hypotheses on it.
Yeah, and manipulating time could manipulate our reality by changing history or the future, and this could cause small effects like Mandela effects. And
Or look into the Hadron Collider over in CERN, over in Switzerland.
Yep, exactly. And that kind of stuff does fall in a category I don't want to get too far into, because and that's like deep state military industrial complex and stuff.
We'll stick to what we know.
Exactly. So all that stuff is stuff we're going to get into later on, but we're probably going to be doing that type of exposures on our own platform. Yeah. So stay tuned in that. I don't want to really get into that stuff on this platform.
Till then, we go finish investigating Dyer Lane, and we got a couple of other investigation sites we're working on, trying to get done in the future here. Here in Northern California, it's a lot of rich history, a lot of old stuff, a lot of abandoned places that we're trying to get access to go and see what we find. Durand has the equipment, and we got the drive to do it. So it's like we're going to go and do this and bring it straight to you what we find. You know? We ain't watering down no evidence, and we ain't making nothing up. Everything we see is what we see is what you see.
Exactly, and like I was saying earlier, the reason why things have been getting pushed out, release dates have been getting pushed. I've been saying coming soon, and bear with me. This is taking a big toll. So like one footage capture where I'm actually mapping out a stick figure on the SLS camera that matches exactly the description of things that I saw when I was a child. And we just got another comment. I love the authenticity. I appreciate that. That's exactly what we are about. Excited for the footage release. Me too.
We got some interesting footage that my man caught out there on Dyer Lane.
Yes. And we're about to get to that. About that stick figure, after I caught that, Charles, I think I told you how violently ill I was after I caught that. It shut my equipment down when I got too close. It actually, you could watch it turn around, and it shuts my equipment down. And I felt a little agitated, and I was a little sweaty. I felt nauseated, and then after that, it just progressed to it really kicked my ass. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. It's taking a toll, and like Charles was saying, that we caught some stuff at Dyer Lane. What's going on here? It says we got 25 seconds remaining. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to rerun this live show in 20 seconds. So bear with us. I guess we're set on a timer. This is my first time doing this, so I get.
We can wrap it up and we can start.
I haven't gone over a few of this stuff.
Just give us something to do.
Well,